part 2 of Judge Death. Working on it. I'm working on it here, but I'm going back in time to yesterday when I did it. I did do a live stream last night, which I forgot to mention in the last one that I didn't. That spoils the surprise. Does it work? What happened to it? Can you put a fuzz pedal in a bass relatively easily and cheaply? Enjoy. This might start a bit abruptly, but it should be. And I'll try and make a better end for this one. Enjoy. Come on. There must be some reason why I've wired. I was going to say for some reason I'd wired the humbucker out of phase, but I'd taken. But I mean, I wonder what the reason for that was. Oh, fuck off. Sorry, I just thought it was up here. Oh, there's a humbucker. I can coil split that. Oh, of course, I'm already splitting it. Oh god, that's why. I remember because I wanted that coil to come through the top pickup. I mean, this stuff is total. I wish there was somebody I could. I don't know. No, there's not. Because I wouldn't ask them. It's too complicated to explain. There are people that could do this stuff, but they just don't want to tell you because it's freaking. How much struggling I'm trying to just tell you what it is I'm trying to do. So I was trying to explain it to Andy, our Aussie singer in the Sabbath band. Was that both of them on there? Here, I'm awful clever. And he's like, oh, does that mean you can have, like, I can't even remember what the question was. It was just like, no, totally not grasped it, damn it. I was like, I'll explain it to you once I've done it. It's like, come on. I don't want to regret taking these wires off. I hope I don't. So the yellow one is going to the top lug. This is a backup plan. The yellow one is going to the top right lug as I look at it. But there's also a red jumper wire coming off that, which I'm sure makes sense in one of the diagrams I've drawn probably. And then the blue one, the one of my new blue purple wire stuff that I had, is going to the middle lug there. Right, so that's the pickup completely disconnected. And then we take off the neck pickup completely disconnected, so it's just the earth wire is there and also the what is a red wire, but I've because I reversed the phase of it, I've put a wee bit of red heat shielding on it, so the heat shielding bit goes to the top left lug on the pot. And we know very well about the outputs and inputs of the what do you call it? This is me talking to myself in the future, by the way, if I get lost. This is just the two volume control connectors, and we remember which one's which. And then that's just an earth. And then now I can take out the. No, this is no longer to future me. I can now take out the bridge pickup. Come on. Of course, this pot's going anyway. Free. Yep. So basically, I'm going to take that off and then cover it in foil, slug tape or whatever it would normally be. But there's not really anything to be gained by giving away my secrets. There's the route. I think it's somebody 50 years in the future. I think there used to be a jazz bass pickup in there. I'm not sure. Something about the routing tells me that it used to be a jazz bass pickup, and that's angle grinded out as well. So I think rather than get that a bit stuffy, what if I really need to take these out? I don't want to. I was kind of going to wrap. I was wondering actually just wondering about wrapping shielding round. It doesn't need it. This whole thing's the thing going up here. I'm going to shield it. It didn't need shielded. It's because the earth wire had come off the bridge. That was why it was a bit shit. Aye, so I'm just going to put a bit of tape on that. Just to stop. Just so I don't have to hoover it afterwards, basically. I'll have to put it over that as well. This stuff's great, but it just doesn't tear well. just figuring if I cover up those holes, it means I don't need to hoover them later. I wish this doesn't rip in a straight... Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah, I'm maybe not taking such great care at this element of the build. I don't really give a shit. That's far too much. Shite tape. Right, okay. So the classic example of, yeah, totally, I'll just do it dead quickly so it's quicker, and it's like, nope, you did it by faffing about and doing it too quickly. It actually took twice as long as it should have if you'd actually just looked for the scissors. Right, so basically I'm going to go and just get an angle grinded out, basically. I kind of know that. I'm going to take where is the actual pedal? So I need to do that. I need to extend the wires and run through to the back. Angle grind out. I'll take the battery with me as well, because I need to get something that's just basically big enough to take the battery, and then just put a metal flap over it. Goes that way. So the vitally important knob's going to be this one here, which is the volume. So I might make it red or something. I just think this is going to be fucking cool. If I bring the bridge back a bit. Yeah. I might get away with bringing it back a wee bit. Yeah, I think I'm going to bring it back to there. It'll just give me that little bit more leeway. It is in tone, but I'd rather it was just wee things. These are wee things that just, you know, the fact that in tones, I would rather the saddles were a bit longer as one of those things that's like totally pure minusculely. That's when you go to, like, you know, your Fender custom shop shit. None of the factory guitars are that level, apart maybe the Japanese. But I'm just going to try and make it as good as I possibly can, without spending any money on it at all. So far it's £11 for the fuzz pedal. The strings my pal gave me, does that count? He only gave me 3 though. You know, there was only 3 in the packet. I've got that packet of strings. Like, oh, there's only 3 in it. It's like, I could just put them in. I'm like, no! I'll be having a bass that's got 3 good strings and 1 shite one. It's only the thin string anyway, it's not as good. Aye, so see you in part whatever the next part is. I don't know. 20 minutes? I think 20 minutes is probably, maybe that's a bit my attention span anyway. Rock on! Hey, aye, so there's an insert video. There's 5 minutes with the angle grinder and the chisel. Things have started. I've realised that what I really want to do is I want to drill the holes in this, from this, before I finalise it so I can put this plate on straight, with the jazz bass plate. Yeah. So I mean, that's this. I'm wondering what bass this is. I was thinking it was a cheapy, like a Korean, late 80s, early 90s Korean, maybe a Marlin Sidewindery type level thing, but it's awfully nice wood. Obviously the neck's not anything to do with it. It did have a fancy bridge on it. The pickups were shite, but I mean, they were all rusty, so it's possible the pickups were maybe not working properly. Maybe they were decent pickups, but they'd maybe been underwater or something. It kind of had that look. I mean, it was like totally, you know, you could sort of see the rust coming off. When you looked in the back, you could see the rust coming off the poles, kind of like icicles, you know, like frost almost, the way rust does that. Aye, so intermediary. I think this bass might be quite good. Looking forward to it. So that's the end of part 2, maybe. Yeah, so kind of like I've kind of gouged out a hole, and I'm just about to come back in from the garage.